What's going on? Volcano Beast, the Sampler King, live from the lab. Basement bunker today. We're not in the lab. We're in the studio production room in the basement. You know what I'm saying? So put up some cameras, put up some lights, and let's get to work today. So before we get into all that, do me a favor, hit that like and hit that subscribe. We're going to get into my favorite 3 things that I came across this week. First on the list, the Behringer 636 Reverb. You know what, Behringer is crazy, man. Like when stuff come out, you never know when it's coming out. But this looks like it's promising. It's already up on Sweetwater. What is it? It's a spring reverb, like the same size and constraints as like their Model D and all the other synths. They made a spring reverb the same size, $200, real spring reverb. It's a recreation of obviously it's a recreation. It's Behringer, so you know it's a recreation of an old school and back from the 60s and the 70s. So that reverb sound that you hear on like dub music from the 70s and all that, that's what that is. It's pretty cool, man. Like especially if you like into like tracking real guitars and stuff like that, it can be like an indispensable tool. I've used spring reverb plugins before. I've used the real thing before too, man. And it kind of gives a texture that it's kind of hard to replicate in the plugin, even though you can get like kind of close to it, but you can't 100% replicate it in a plugin. So being able to get a real spring reverb for like $200 that's got real connections that you could just put on your patch bay, that's pretty nice, man. I used one that was on like an amp, so it didn't feel like, it wasn't easy to use. Just put it to you like that, not reamping stuff through, it wasn't easy to use. So this is nice because like you can record the guitars in and just reamp it. I literally had a session or a song I had to mix a few months ago, and I didn't have a good spring reverb in my library, or at least I didn't think I did, because Arturia makes a version of it, and I didn't even know that until I started researching. That's a tip for you. Dig through the stuff you got already before you start buying stuff. So I ended up buying one from Boz Digital, and like I like theirs in the digital realm. They're I forgot the name of it, but it's a spring reverb. They only got one, so Recoil or something like that. It was nice, but like I said, I'm kind of intrigued about this one. I heard a couple demos. Don't know when it's coming out for sure, but like I said, this one caught my eyes this week, and it's definitely on my cop list. It's gonna be $200. So like I say, and it's Eurorack compatible, 72 spaces or whatever, and obviously you know you can get racks for it to put it in your actual rack. So that's what makes it nice. I said, yeah, it's really not much more to say to it. There's nothing super exciting about a spring reverb, but it's just one of those things when you need it, it's there. Because I use my grandmother, and some sounds I get out of the grandmother because of that real live spring reverb on it is pretty nice. So for me to be able to just have that to be able to add to any texture in my library or any synth in my library for $200, I think I'm gonna do that. So yeah, the Behringer Spring Reverb, the 636. It's the old classic 636. They just made that iteration of it and gave it to us in hardware form. So yeah, Arturia's got the plug-in though. So obviously they all got a different sound. So if you can demo that Arturia one, it kind of sounds like the demos that I heard from the Behringer. So I take that. Like I say, put it in my rack. It's good to go. I'll be able to track some synths or like some bass or anything crazy through it. Guitars, if I get other projects to do that again. Like I said, I just was going through that because I was putting reverb on stuff. I'm like, it don't sound right. It don't sound right. Man, I gotta add some spring reverb. I gotta treat this like it's a real guitar and a real amp and all that. And I did. It made my life easier. So yeah, the Behringer 636 spring reverb. Don't know when it's coming, but like I said, it's already up on Sweetwater, so you can already pre-order it. So I'm guessing it's coming soon.